letting me send to the text now. Zootopia Plus is a short season of TV on Disney Plus with only 6 episodes, each only around 11 minutes long. Pretty much just a little over an hour's worth of material. All released on one day just last week, probably because they knew nobody would be excited about watching this weekly. The original Zootopia movie is really good. It's about a government official using drugs to ignite a global race war. Fun for the whole family. It turns out this isn't so much a series as it is a collection of shorts about minor characters which happen at certain parts in parallel with the events of the movie. But they got most of the cast back. Everybody except Shakira, whose character has been recast, but it doesn't matter because she doesn't really have much of a role here. She really only has slightly more of a reason to exist than in the actual movie. And the animation is movie quality, but really for the most part the show just kind of feels pointless. But at least it's entertaining, even if it's mostly kid stuff. It opens with probably the worst one. When Judy goes to Zootopia, her parents realize that one of their other children has stowed away on the train. And there's a high-speed pursuit of them trying to catch up to it, and a lot of cartoon shenanigans. Once again, kid stuff. Then there's a reality show parody about the mob boss's daughter. Cool, I guess, whatever. Episode 3 is a long musical number of the criminal weasel singing about how he should turn his life around after getting arrested. My feelings are pretty much the same as last episode, but at least the visuals and choreography were cool. Up next, probably the best one here, a flashback episode of the mob boss's origins. Connected to the movie because he's telling the story to his son-in-law at the wedding. And it's actually a somewhat interesting gangster underdog story. The old film effect was a nice touch. Then there's something with 2 of the cops trying to get onto a dancing competition reality show. Meh, but it's nice that they got Idris Elba back. But the ending's a total cop-out. Would have probably been better if they didn't have to make it so that this short could fit into the movie. And it all ends with the sloth. A waitress is in a hurry to finish her shift so that she can get to a concert. But guess who her last customer is? A relatable story to anybody who's had a bad work day, and it's told very well, even if it might possibly be a little predictable. Although its attempts to tie it into the movie are kind of awkward. I mean, did they really expect us to believe that the whole thing happened in broad daylight? This is all just a bunch of shorts that, if they came out sooner, would have probably been appropriately suited for the special features section on the Blu-ray. Am I being too harsh by rating this below 3 stars? Maybe. But also maybe not. I mean, I rated Wendell and Wild pretty high last week. I think I can rate this one low. Basically just exists so that Disney can use the brand for more money, but it isn't too terrible.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest.
Ever wonder what the real truth is behind the legend of Robin Hood? Well, here are the characters brought to life in classic Disney style to live it all again. The Wonderful Adventures of Robin Hood.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Finally, I talk about something people actually care about. Directed once again by Ryan Coogler, who wrote it with Joe Robert Cole, who also wrote for American Crime Story and the first Black Panther movie. I think this is the best Marvel movie since Spider-Man No Way Home, but I'm still going to be hard on this one too. Yes, I liked it, but I was still a little disappointed. The first Black Panther is my second favorite MCU film behind only Guardians of the Galaxy, and this one looked like it was made with more sincerity than the usual blockbuster as a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, a man who they knew they would never be able to replace in this role. But in the end, it just wasn't really as good as the first one. A lot of what makes this work lies in the scenes that acknowledge Boseman's death, particularly the beginning and the end. The funeral scene at the beginning before the logo even appears is easily the best part, as is the logo that immediately follows, which shows images of him over complete silence. Haunting stuff there. And an emotional final shot and post-credit scene. What's in between isn't exactly as good though. It has an interesting story and once again has a good villain who's more morally gray than evil, but in many parts I still felt like I wasn't as engrossed in it as I should be. And there were many parts where it really seemed like I should have been loving it. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. But I'm guessing now that it was probably the length and pacing. It's almost 3 hours and doesn't really need to be that long. The story is, I guess, somewhat complex, but not make this 3 hours long complex. But the action scenes are pretty good, although the effects aren't always great. And it teases some potentially interesting ways for the universe to go, at least with Wakanda. Overall, it can't live up to the sheer power of that first trailer, but it's good for fans and even at times a little emotional for everyone else. Like I said, this is the best MCU movie since No Way Home, possibly by default. I've been kind of debating this with myself for some time, but then I realized I could not see myself reasonably putting this below any other of this year's entries. It's bad enough I'm stopping at No Way Home. I wish I liked this more than that one. This is a tribute to the recently deceased actor who made this franchise, and No Way Home is basically how much name recognition can we put into this movie. This was not hurt too badly by the behind-the-scenes drama, including both Boseman's death and that actress's refusal to get vaccinated. Maybe it's missing something without Boseman, but that can't be helped. This is a good movie with great tributes to the man who made the franchise what it is. Please join my Patreon, link in the description.